So this is a 3D printed medical table that I printed for my amphibian base project. And what I'm going to show you is how to do realistic, cool blood for miniatures and for Warhammer 40,000. So I sprayed it Leadbelcher, but obviously because it's really cold here in the UK, I'm just going to give it a second coat from the pot and just get that solid base coat is what I need ready for the rest of the progress. So now that's all done, the next couple of steps are really easy. We're just going to give it a liberal coat of Nuln Oil to bring that all the way down. Now that's all done, another really simple, easy thing. We're just going to dry brush it Stormhost Silver just to bring out all those edges, and then we'll start cracking on with a few details, and we'll start getting on with the blood. I forgot that there was a camera here, I just got carried away, but I get it in frame, just give me time. There we go. As you can see, all dry brushed, all quite nice, but it's looking a bit bare. So what I'm going to do is add a bit of colour. I'm going to put the like a red cross in the middle, the sides a bit of white, and paint some of the buttons and just kind of paint some little details that we're eventually going to cover in blood. Okay, now you can see that I painted some of the details. It looks like a really weird England flag, but now we're going to show you how to do the blood. So all you need is two colours, blood for the blood god and Typhus Corrosion. That's it, they're the only two colours. As you can see on my palette, I've been playing around with different consistencies. Obviously the more brown the blood, the more, you know, it's dried, instead of just using blood for the blood god straight out of the pot, which looks a bit fresh. So what we want to do is we want to make the table look like it has been operated on in the past, and it's kind of become old and you know, disused, but maybe used quite frequently or recently even. So what I've done is get it on the palette, and yeah, the best thing about Typhus Corrosion is it's a textured paint. So when you kind of mix it in with the blood for the blood god, because it's 28mm scale, it kind of looks like little chunks of flesh or fat or bits of bone when you mix it in with the paint, which is exactly what we're going for. So I build this up in layers and mix it in. I start with more of a kind of like a browny blood, and then I work my way up to the, you know, the straight from the pot kind of blood from the blood god. So mix it to your consistency however you want it. Obviously I'm going to go for quite a bit of a dark bit of blood, and how I'm going to apply this is with a sponge. So I'm just trying to get the consistency that I want. I'm pretty happy with that. There we go. So yeah, just get a sponge from your own carry case or blister pack or kitchen sponge. However, you know, whatever sponge you kind of want. Make sure it's teared, not flat, but kind of uneven, so you get the random patterns. Just dab it in, dab it off, and I try putting it where, you know, somebody would be either tied up or bound for a medical thing, and I'm just dabbing it where, you know, blood would happen. Just dabbing it in random patches. And then what I do is I bring it down, I scrape the sponge down to emphasize blood, you know, kind of pooling or running off the table, drag marks. And because the sponge is not flat or even, and it gives you that random effect that, you know, I was going for. So yeah, now the drag marks are done, I just go in and just start sponging on this blood. Make sure that it's pooling at the bottom. There is a little like plug at the bottom of the, I guess it could be an autopsy table or an operating table. So I have to remember that all the blood is going to pool down to the bottom and then drain off into this plug. Making sure that, you know, there's blood on the servo arms and the turrets. There's a blade. There's I think there's a syringe on there. There's a few harsh instruments on there. So So now that's gone, I've gone back in now with a bit more lighter blood. Just dabbing it, just kind of like building it up in layers. And there we go, I'm just going to paint this into the bottom of the table where the plug is now. I guess the sponge wouldn't get in there. So yeah, just paint the bottom, that's where it would all pool and congregate. And there we go. So the table, I wanted to make it look fresh, and then we're going to weather it, and then we'll add some more fresher blood. But I wanted this blood to look quite old and before the weathering progress. Now that that's all done, I'm really happy with that. So now it's time to get the weathering, which I'm going to use the same kind of techniques I did on my corridor in the previous video. So what we're going to do, we're going to get out the streaking grime, going to give it a liberal coat of that, and remove it and apply a bit more blood. So I'm just going to kind of skip these parts, and if you want to know how I did that, go check out previous video. But yeah, there we go, covered in grime. I'm going to get up a makeup sponge, dip it in some white spirit, just remove that grime, but also keep it where I need it to, so everything's a bit stained, a bit grubby, to give it that, you know, abandoned vibe, which I'm going for this whole scenery. So that's it. That's what it looks like. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some blood for the blood god, straight from the pot. Not going to mix it with Typhus Corrosion. And we're just going to dab it just over the blood again, just to give it that emphasis of it's recently been used. By who or by what, don't know, but it just adds a bit more kind of Grimdark to this setting which I'm going for. So I don't want to go too heavy on it like I did last time. I just kind of want to give it a lighter dabbing of blood for the blood god. Bit more streaking. Don't forget to do the medical arms. And there you have it. That's my medical table for the Fenian project. You can use that same kind of blood technique, which I've used on a upcoming corridor for the whole Fenian project. I did a lot of drag marks on that. Bit of blood splatter on the walls. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that's turned out. This project's coming along really well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again another time.